guess I'm shut-eye. What kind of dream is it? So what's this supposed to do? Hello, this is your artistic boyfriend doing here. Welcome back to Find Love or Die Trying. Let's see how far we can get with this video episode. The next day I woke to the... Oh, right, there was an explosion that ended the last episode. I woke up to the sound of an explosion outside. I ran outside as fast as I could. The first thing I saw was Scarlett, of course, and black smoke emanating from the ground near her. Oh, hey there. Nice weather we're having, huh? Hey, Scarlett, you okay? I'm pretty good, all things considered. I've been experimenting again on trying to bring back people's memories without the whole monkey zombie bit. I figured if you and I ever was, I wanted us to know everything about each other. No secrets. I like that, Scarlett, thanks. I'll let you know if I'm making any progress with that. I gotta clean this up. Give me a minute and then we can head for the forest. I've been meaning to spend some time there since I got to this island. Sounds good by me. This forest looks just like that VR forest from Terra's. Anyway, we walked together through the forest, hand in hand, talking about things we do after we got off the island, talking about everything and anything. After we're off this island, whatever happens to you, maybe you want to catch a movie together? Sure, but why a movie? You can laugh, but there's a part of me that just wants to be a regular girl for a day. That's something I could never have. Forget. And I'd like it if I could be that way with you. What do you say? I like that. Yay. Scarlett did a little dance of happiness. We spent the rest of the morning together in the woods, enjoying each other's company, and maybe a little more than that. Somehow in the middle of it all, I forgot what kind of show I was on in the first place. It was just me and her. In this moment, more than ever, I was glad to be alive. Morning, how'd you sleep? Pretty well, considering how you edit the footage that keeps me alive drunk. Well, that sounds like a win-win to me, if you ask. Can you believe it? We're already in the 6th day of the show. Is it already time? Sure goes by fast. No kidding. Anyway, it's time to wrap up phase 2. You just need to go on a second date with your last soulmate candidate. Couldn't be too hard, no? Please don't jinx me. Break a leg. Seriously, actually breaking a leg will be a lot better for you than messing up today's date. Not helping. Time to get today's date started with none other than my third soulmate candidate, Violet. I found Violet taking a walk outside the mansion. Hey Violet, what's up? Hello there. I just thought I'd take a nice afternoon walk. This place truly does bring back memories of home. Lived on your own personal island? Nothing quite that bored. I'm not going to be able to say this, am I? I'm just going to skip it. Anyway, I've got a surprise for you, want to see? For me, I motioned for her to follow me into the mansion. I asked Kat to pull a few strings, and, well, we have everything we need to bake whatever we want now. Oh my. Violet looked at me with childlike wonder in her eyes. Let's get right to it then, why don't we? She was practically shaking with excitement. Her smile and laughter was positively infectious. We decided to make a chocolate cake. It was her favorite flavor, and I don't remember mine. Inside, I also don't remember a thing about how to make cakes, but with Violet, that wasn't a problem. Got me up to speed with a soft and steady hand. Before long, we had the cake in the oven, baking away. I wish it took longer to make. Seeing Violet do what she loved most was a treat. When she pulled the cake out of the oven, she looked like a kid on Christmas Day. Now, just for the finishing touches, a little more here, a little more there. She was in her own world, humming away as she danced around the cake, decorating as she went along. I couldn't help but smile and watch her in adoration. She's pure happiness right now. I wish I could take this moment and just freeze it in time for safekeeping. Can't wait to share this with the others. But first, would you mind testing it? You don't have to ask. Believe me, I'm first in line to try it out. Thank you. I'm unsure if what I make is worth eating or not. Why's that? My family's caretaker, Lucine, was the one who taught me to bake. Besides, my sister, Lucine, was the only one who ever bothered to try what I made. Sometimes I worry they told me it's delicious just to make me feel better. I took a little off the top of her cake with my finger and licked it off. It's still delicious, Violet. You better believe it. Would you want to help me a little longer? I'm having far too much fun to just stop now. I just started making some cookies and I find it quite quite enjoy your company, and hell, I'd love to. Let me know how I can help. Well, they passed me a bowl full of cookie dough and then a tray. All you need to do is make little cookie-shaped pieces out of this dough and put them on the tray. Do try not to put any of them too close together on the tray, or it'll become something of a mutant cookie in the oven. Got it. No mutant cookies here. I ripped off a piece of cookie dough from the bowl and rolled into the size and shape of a cookie. Perfect. You're natural. Thanks, Violet. Wow. In the time it took me to make one, Violet had made 6 perfect cookies. She moved with the mechanical efficiency as she netted balls of dough into perfectly shaped cookies. Wow, I thought you were great before, but you're really incredible. How long have you been doing this? Perhaps since I was about, say, 5? To this day, it remains the only thing I can best my sister at. I finished making another cookie as Violet finished 3 more. She held up one of the cookies and raised it to her face. You've gotten quite skilled at this. I just want to say again, thank you for arranging this. I'm on top of the world right now. It was my pleasure, Violet. God, she's adorable when she smiles. For a few seconds, she kept working on the cookies in amiable silence. Our eyes locked on each other's. You said you had a sister? Why, yes, indeed. Viola Valentine, first twins of the family. I'm out of my room. I'm out of room in my tray. She flashed a devious smile in my direction right before she lightly threw a dough ball at my face. What's with that cheeky? Before I could react, it splattered against and stuck to my face. She burst into childlike laughter. Nice catch. Perhaps you might try using your hands next time. Oh, it's on. I couldn't stop myself from smiling, so I grabbed some ammo from my own cookie tray and threw them at her. She dodged them with ease and laughed. It's quite humorous how an old caretaker managed to do what you are struggling to do now. I interrupted her, gloating with another dough ball throw. This time I made a satisfying splat against her left cheek. Strike! Oh, you were so going down. Her smile turned devilish as she grabbed another dough ball. Oh, shit. I've only a second before our next volley. Interesting. Give me a choice at this moment. Offensive or defensive? Let's go offensive. I just started to reach for another dough ball from the tray when a dough ball splattered against my forehead, sending me recoiling backwards. And then another landed right next to it. Mercy. And then another. I crumbled to the floor in defeat. I declare this my victory in absolute confidence. She laughed as she pointed at all the dough in my face. I took the opportunity to interrupt her speech with another dough ball. I splattered right against her left cheek. Oh, you're even more dead now. Forget surviving this crazy TV show. I don't know if I'm surviving the next 5 minutes. It's like looking a tiger dead in the eye. Violet reloaded her ammo and was winding up for another throw. It was all I could do to reach for one more ball and scream in defiance. Bring it on! Some say you can still hear my screams in the kitchen to this day. We finished cleaning up after our impromptu food fight and brought the desserts that survived the Great War to the porch. Her smile and laughter were infectious. Pardon me, but I guess we can rule out you being a baseball player before you can come to this island. She put her hand tenderly against my face as she worked off some remaining dough. Locked eyes yet again, her eyes were practically magnetic. Thanks for playing along. I suppose it's been too long since I've had that much fun. So thank you for indulging my little whim. It was a lot of fun for me too, Violet. Don't mention it. Besides, I think I got a few good hits in to make it worth it. I'm worried for you. It appears your amnesia is getting even worse. Violet laughed as she picked off some more crumbs off my face and licked them off her finger. Her eyes seemed more to linger on mine. I hope we can spend more time together soon. I quite like this. I'd like that too, Violet. I like that, Violet. I had a lot of fun with you too. You're full of surprises, you know. Just wait and see. There's more where that came from. We spent the rest of the day talking, eating little desserts together on the porch. Though Violet seemed quite distant from when I first met her, I learned that the real Violet was nothing like that at all, and full of surprises. She could be unexpectedly shy one moment and then mischievous as a child another. One thing's for sure, being around her makes my heart skip a beat and the time fly by. Before I realized how much time had passed, it was already pitch black outside. And we back to the bedroom? Yep, okay. Feeling a little bit of the late night munchies. Guess I'll go head downstairs. I walked to the kitchen and opened the fridge. Sweet, there's still some leftover cookies that Violet and I made together. I grab a few and wolf them down. Delicious. Got a case of the midnight munchies. I figured I'd do my civil duty and help finish the cookies Violet and I made. Right, only a good Samaritan would finish all the cookies, so no one else would have to make that sacrifice. I'm just too good of a person, I know. It gets me in trouble sometimes. Anyway, I've been meaning to talk to you. What's up? How did your day with Violet today go? Awesome. It was wonderful, and that's not a word I say out very often. It's not every day where you get to spend it with a woman who can turn a kitchen into a war zone. I can't remember the last time I had so much fun, and it's not the amnesia talking. Violet really is something, ain't she? No kidding. I'd expect no less from the woman who's currently our audience favorite. Whenever we get you both in the same room, ratings just soar through the roof. Can't say I'm surprised to hear that. Well, that should be enough footage for today, thanks. You'll be very happy to know that Phase 2 of the plan was a smashing success. That's great to hear. No kidding, the love square between Allie, Scarlett, and Violet had viewers on the edge of their seats. You've actually broken the record for ratings on a killer dating game show. It's not as niche as it sounds. Do I get a plaque for that? This has to count for something somewhere. We don't have it printed yet, but I prepared your tombstone in advance if you're looking for a souvenir. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Kat. Let it never be said that I am anything but supportive. Anyway, we're on to Phase 3. It's pretty much the same as Phase 2, except with third dates this time. And one caveat. What's that, Kat? I'm sure you got a favorite in mind between Allie, Scarlett, and Violet. If you want to maximize your chances of getting out of your life, save the best for last. Give audience something to look forward to. Sounds good to you? Makes sense to me. Good. That's all for today. I'll see you later. Night. Good night, Kat. And thanks for your help till now, Kat. I realize I've probably been screwed without you. Don't thank me yet. I guess I'll call it a night. Or back to my room. What kind of dream we gonna have? Gonna get some shut-eye? What kind of dream is it? So what's this supposed to do? Oh, it's actually showing me who they are, who's I'm dreaming of now. It's only a prototype, but technically detail aside, you can think of it as a memory rewriter. So it rewrites memories? Pretty much. Think of it like a surgeon's scalpel. With it, you can make someone forget things as big as who they are or something as small as a specific conversation. So if you use this on someone, anything's fair game. You could erase anything you wanted. Exactly. Well, maybe it's not really a scalpel since it comes with a reset button. It's sad, though. This was supposed to help people after the war. I was supposed to help people after the war. I'm sorry, Scarlett. Don't worry about it. I may not be able to help them, but it doesn't mean I can't help you and your partner escape from this madness. Okay, so this... Thank you so much. I know you're taking an incredible risk for that. Honestly, most people would never... Don't mention it. It's what I do. If they manage to trace it back to me, then I'll accept whatever comes. It'll be the first time I helped somebody in quite some time. Scarlett. The boat is just past the woods behind the rocky enclave near the beach. It won't be there forever, so act quickly. It'd be suicide to go for it during the day, so I recommend heading there near midnight. Thank you, Scarlett. You sure you don't want to come with us? Someone has to stay here to help the people without falling this spider's web. You don't have to be so noble. I envy her, to get to leave this place with you, but someone needs to stay here and do what's right. Ooh. I walked to the kitchen where the girls were having breakfast. So how was that date? Yeah, tell us. Tara was furiously scribbling their notes with idle war plans in bold. It was really quite nice. And she made this cake and the cookies yesterday together. I hope you all enjoyed it. They're amazing, Violet. Thanks for making it for us. Thanks so much, they're so delicious. Tara scribbled down horror of attrition is likely not an option. What are you writing there, Tara? Nothing. So how come there's cookie batter everywhere? No matter where I look, I can see batter on every surface of the kitchen. It wasn't just the batter Violet and I had knocked over quite a few things in our firefight. That's... You sure it was just baking together? I thought it was more than that. I sure read it as if I was heartbroken. I gotta hand it to you, Violet. I didn't think you had it in you. Okay, yeah, they may have the wrong idea about that. Wait, no, nothing like that happened. Allie and I laughed and made finger guns at each other. I don't get it. Of course, Huey wouldn't get it. That's because you're a good person, Huey. I think what Ellie's trying to say is that Violet and him. Ellie slipped a cookie into Scarlett's mouth before she could finish her sentence. Well, these cookies are pretty useful. You gotta teach me how to make these sometime, Violet. It would be my pleasure, Ellie. Oh, teach me. Why should he have all the good stuff? We spent the rest of the morning fooling around in the kitchen. Morning. Let's kick off phase 3. Hopefully we can wrap this up quickly and be back to your old life soon. I better be. It's nice as this island is. It's a gilded cage. You'll be able to go back to your old life soon, that's a promise. Well, unless you make a mess out of your next 3 days, I can't help you there. But assuming you do, you'll get to leave here with one of Allie, Scarlett, or Violet. And first, it's time to pick which of them we're going on a 3rd date with today. Who's it gonna be? Who should I go with last time as like the first in this phase? Because I know I can't have Scarlett being the last person, I think, maybe. I don't know. Whoever. Might have Allie be the last. I don't know. I'll have Scarlett first. Can't say I'm surprised. You're two birds of a feather. Here's to hoping you both have a day you'll both remember for a change. It's funny when you're not an amnesiac. I found Scarlett in the same place I met her. She was engrossed in a book with a pile of books next to her. They looked worn as if they'd been read over and over through the years. Hey there, Scarlett, what you reading? Just a little fairy tale. Really unsurprised you'd read something that would throw science out the window. I'm one of varied taste. I quite like these stories, especially this one. Which one are you reading? It's called The Princess of Averanda. Really, it's silly. I doubt you'd be interested in Try Me. I smiled at her. She smiled back at me in kind. Okay, I don't see why not. There's a young girl, Nara, who was the princess of the kingdom of Averanda, which was far, far away from civilization. Like other princesses before, she had no time for politicking or parties. She spent all the time building all sorts of gadgets for her family and her friends. Like a robot dog that would eat vegetables they didn't want to eat. Oh, I gotta try my hand at this sometime. Scarlett giggled like a child. Nara has a blissfully happy childhood. She even falls in love with a commoner named Delora. Though our kingdom never approved of their relationship, Nara and Aloria never failed to see each other in secret every night by the crooked trees in the western forest. But those days don't last. One day, her mother, the queen, is taken by a witch, never be seen again, and Nara is forced to become queen at the age of 16. In her mother's absence, Nara does her best to lead the kingdom, and for years it prospers. She's like no other leader they had before. Certainly she wants to leave. As queen, she has no more time for things or people that she loved with all her heart. She cries every night alone. But she knows she can't. Too much responsibility falls on her. Then one day, Nara is cursed by the same witch and took her mother and forgets everything. Her name, her family, her kingdom, everything except for Aloria and the desire to leave. And so she leaves, and no one in this village has ever seen her again. I won't bore you with the rest of the story, but thanks for listening to now. Come on, believe me, Scarlett, I want to hear this to the end, especially because you like it so much. I looked deep into her eyes and could tell just how much she loved the story. Well, there's really not much left, but Nara and Aloria live a wonderful life in a neighboring kingdom for many years. One day she remembers everything and rushes home worrying for her people. When she gets there, she sees her people have been ruled by the very same witch who took her memory, and that her people no longer prosper the way they did under her rule. In anger, Nara confronts the witch on the border of Averanda. The witch takes off her cowl, revealing herself to be Nara's mother, the lost queen. Nara's mother gives her an ultimatum. She can return to ruling the kingdom, but she can never leave again. Or she can leave now and never come back. And that's where the story ends. She never gets to know what choice Nara makes. That's quite the cliffhanger. I want to know what happens next. Believe me too. I'm curious, what would you do in Nara's shoes? This feels like an actual choice for the island. I'd leave the kingdom. I think I'd leave and never come back. Interesting, why's that? There's no point living without love, even if it feels better her to the kingdom for ne'er to say to guarantee her love could never be realized. That's just too sad. I think the same way. I've loved this story ever since I lost my memories. I'm sure I don't have a kingdom or anything, but sometimes you wonder, you know? Yeah, I get the same feeling too. That's just life, you know? You have to keep moving forward. Yeah, you're right. I'm really happy that you're the one I get to move forward with. Me too, Scarlett. There's no one else I'd rather be with right here, right now. Speaking of right now, there's somewhere I want to bring you. Where's that? I'll give you a hint. I've been thinking about this place ever since you mentioned that you had loved fairy tales. Oh, this place. Oh my gosh, there's turtles down here. Turtles! She was practically dancing around the room, taking in all the sights. It was impossible not to smile. I figured the Ocean Palace might be your thing. Scarlett practically jumped onto me, squeezing the life out of me in a deathly bear hug. This is wonderful. Thank you so much. You made everything so special in ways I honestly couldn't believe, but you did it. And this is just the beginning. Scarlett, we're in this together. I held Scarlett and kissed her on the lips. It was like an explosion of passion had set me on fire as she kissed me back and wrapped her arms around me. Always. We spent the rest of the night enjoying a lovely dinner in a place straight out of a fairy tale, with nothing but love in our hearts and laughter and smiles on our faces. Can't wait to leave this island with you. I've never been this excited, this happy since ever. You made me feel like I'm living in a fairy tale. You know, I've got an idea of how we could spend tonight if you're interested. And what's that? I'll show you why fairy tales are written by adults. Okay. And just like that, that's my last date with Scarlett. Time sure goes by quickly. I thought I'd find you here. Why's that? You tend to come out here when you're lost in thought is all. You're thinking about how the show's almost over, am I right? How'd you know? I could guess. Well, it's not over yet, so don't let up just yet. Speaking of which, how was your date with Scarlett today? Awesome. Like, all of them are always just awesome. It was the best. My connection with Scarlett's one of a kind, and there's no one I'd rather have beside me than her. Being married to her would be like a dream come true. Well, aren't you romantic? But I'm happy to hear that. If it's you two, I'm sure that whatever you two face out there, you'll be fine as long as you stick together. And if she stops turning people into zombies. Yeah, those are conversations we have to have. Don't forget that in the prenup. Anyway, I'd ask you if you're thinking of choosing her at the end, but I'd rather wait and see how it plays out. You going to stay out here for long? Nah, I'll probably go back. I'll be going back inside soon. I'll keep you company till then. I figured you might want to have a conversation with someone that won't get you killed if it's not TV worthy. Thanks. Don't mention it. You know, I'm curious, Cat. What's up? Let's say I knew I was screwed, that there was no way of me getting out of here alive. But the only way left for me to survive was just to run. Would you let me escape? Very bold to ask that now. Of course. Thanks, Ed. That means a lot. It's no big deal. We stayed out for a little longer before we call it a night. I'm lucky I have someone I can trust. Don't trust her. Do not trust her. I woke up with Scarlett in my arms. After talking with Kat last night, I asked Scarlett to join me for one more midnight walk. We ended up talking for hours. Morning, Scarlett. Oh, you're awake. Hi there. She was clearly half asleep. I want to invent something that puts this moment in a bottle forever. Then I'd repurpose the factory and mass produce it. Yeah, I love you. She dozed off as she embraced me in her arms and held me tight. We must have stayed there together for over an hour, but I wish it didn't pass by so fast. I'm so happy, you know. Why's that? No matter how the show ends, we won't be alone. What more could I ask for? I was terrified before, but now I know everything will be alright. Couldn't say it better myself, Scarlett. Anyway, Kat wants you to go on a date with someone else right now, right? Yeah, sorry about that. Don't worry about it. I've got an invention to deal with them later. Sorry, what was that? Oh, nothing. See you later. Morning. You'll be happy to know your third date with Scarlett yesterday was pretty well received. Not the highest rated we've had so far, but enough to give us more room to keep going. Sounds good enough to me. For your next date, make sure you pick someone who you think the audience will respond well to. Though at this point, I think you're in a pretty good spot either way. Without further ado, which soulmate candidate is it going to be? This is where I'm stuck. Who do I leave for last? Because it was said to leave the best for last. Can I only leave Violet for last? Oh, I don't know. My save now. You know what? Let's leave Violet for last. Allie. To be honest, I'm not sure if your dates with Allie are really dates or more just trying different kinds of transportation. But hey, whatever floats your boat. Let's get those cameras rolling. I found Allie by the beach, or more accurately, she came running to me. You're not gonna believe this. What's that? Alright, who took my keys? You got 10 seconds for a ticket out of forced paycheck. Oh, come on! We'll walk and talk. Come here. Well, let's walk and maybe more like run like hell. Forrest's not going to be happy when he finds out that whatever. Come on, let's go. She grabbed my hand and pulled me with her into the forest clearing nearby. What's going on? You are not going to believe what I just found. What's that? Well, I was wondering how to top the 2 previous days when I stumbled upon... Oh, wait a minute. It's better if I surprise you. I'm going to have to close my eyes again, right? I love how fast you learn things. She was singing as she covered my eyes with one hand and pulled me along with the other. She pulled me along step by step. I can't say I wasn't enjoying it. It's just a staircase. It feels like metal beneath me. In the middle of a forest? Just a bit more now. Alright. You can open your eyes now. How on earth? We were inside a small plane, the very same one I'd been rudely awakened in my first day here. How did you even... It was just sitting in the forest. I thought, why not, right? I have so many questions. Wait a minute, are you planning on... Don't even bother to answer me. Ellie rushed to the cockpit. Oh, crap. Ears open, this goes better than the rollerblades. I wonder what this big red button does. Oh, God, get me out of here. I ran for the door, but it's already shut tight. And away we go. The engine of the plane roared as we took off. I slammed to the side of the door. Oof. Come on, be honest. You were thinking the same thing. You put a big, juicy red button there? Come on. Completely unattended, and you expect a good citizen like me to not press it? You're bonkers. You've got a point, but do you have any idea how to fly this thing? Wait a minute. If you're talking to me here, then who's flying the plane? Technically nobody, but... The right wing of the plane smashed into a tree. We hit it hard enough for it to be slightly deformed. Oof. I slammed to the wall yet again. We didn't need that wing anyway. We still have the other one. Exactly like kidneys. Forget killer dating. Death shows. Forget Damien and Cat. Allie is going to be the death of me. I tried to run to the cockpit, but it was all I could do to stay upright as the plane teetered back and forth. I'm just kidding. I got this. Allie ran to the cockpit without breaking a sweat. Meanwhile, I did my best impression of a ball in a pinball machine. Alright, I got this. The plane seemed to stabilize in a matter of seconds. Oh, thank God. I really thought we were gonna crash again. Oops. Once again, the right wing of the plane smashed into a tree. Somehow it went back to its original shape. Not so bad, if I do say so myself. Alright, that was dumb luck, and you know it. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Started gaining altitude slowly at first, then faster and faster, and higher. Before long, we were soaring high above the trees. Allie yelled out in triumph. Woo! That was a very ecstatic woo from me, but I joined in and yelled out with glee. It's a pretty great feeling, huh? Not dying in a party plane crash? Flying free without it, what's the point of living? You talking about freedom or flying? Why not both? That said, there's another reason I flew up here. What's that, Allie? This is the only place I could find a ground that wasn't bugged. No one can eavesdrop on us. Ooh. And sorry for the turbulence, but without it, they might have heard me disable the bugs in here. Believe me, I looked for a safe place as hard as I could. But that's why I got the rollerblades in the boat earlier, to find a safe place to talk as fast as possible. I'm guessing you know what this show is really about then. Unfortunately, yeah, what a bummer, am I right? Unfortunately, I don't think you do, and I can't risk telling you everything either. What? Why? Believe me, you're better off not knowing. What? Allie, what are you hiding? Who are you really? Look, we dropped too much time before we left to land. This thing's already almost out of fuel. Sure enough, we had already started descending. Please just trust me. I'm on your side. I know there's so many lies going around here, but I really want to help you get out of here. Though I have to admit it wasn't on my to-do list at first. It's a good thing you're so cute. I'm kidding, jeez. Do you trust me? I trust her more than Cat. I'm actually going to give it a second. Go into the second slot because I'm curious what if I pick the other option at that point. So yes, of course I do, Allie. You know that. You won't regret it, promise? So what can you tell me? There's no time. Long story short, there's something on this island I need to find that the people I work with need. It's life or death, not just for you or me, but for countless others. Came here to save you all, and I won't give up until I have. Though at this point I've done all I can, it's in his hands now. Whose? No time to talk. We're almost back in range of the island's recorded network. No matter what, don't tell anybody what happened here. Not even a little bit. Not even if you think you can trust them. Are we clear? Crystal. The plane flew lower and lower. Alright, we're about to be back in the recording zone. What else? What else? Don't do anything I wouldn't do? That really doesn't limit it much. I guess not. After we landed, Cat scolded us for taking the plane. Cat and Allie seemed to be exchanging more than a few uneasy glances as we got off the plane. But luckily nothing came of it. Next, the production staff separated Allie and I. Looked like Cat had arranged something special for the two of us. All I was told was that I wasn't allowed to see Allie until evening. Apparently that's the nicest time to film. Till then, the production team helped me to look the part of a romantic novel protagonist. I was dressed to the nines. Must have sat through a few hundred photo shoots and interviews before they told me it was time to see her. But it was worth it. Wow, even for this island, this place is fancy with a capital F. Tell me about it. I broke one plate here and I'll have to pay it off for the rest of my life. Welcome to the Ocean Palace. Allow me to show you your seat. Are we going to the Ocean Palace for every single person? He gestured at me to follow him. We'd only taken a few steps when I saw her. When I did, I couldn't help but crack up. You know, I kinda expected you to be dressed up too, given all the shit the crew put me through. What's the point? It'd just get ruined. How would it get ruined? Oh, you'll see. Come on. She reached for my hand and put mine in hers with a smile on my face. She pulled me along with her towards the door. Whoa. I stumbled against a table and which knocked a plate onto the floor. It promptly shattered into a million pieces. In case you were watching Cat, that was too. I knew I should have been an accountant. She laughed as she pulled me along with her to the outside. That air had never tasted so fresh. Each breath for air was, as we ran along the road, made my worries and fears just disappear. Eventually, we ran all the way to the beach. Oh, not the beach again. Come on. She tightened her hand and pulled me along with her to the water. Wait, just that. She laughed like a maniac as she cannonballed us into the ocean. My first instinct was to swim back up to the surface, but Allie put her hands against my face and looked deep into my eyes. She smiled and kissed me passionately. It was as if time had stopped. A few moments later, we went back up to the surface. I figured you could use a fun distraction from everything that had happened earlier. Was she doing this for me? I never know what to expect with you, you know? And you never will. It was a night to remember. Okay, no memory wipe yet. Every time we get to the beach, I don't know, I'm just suspecting the memory wipe thing again. After my date with Ellie, I walked outside till the time I expected to see Cat, but she never showed up. I guess she already has enough footage for today. Might as well try to find her. Not around, looks like the snacks from before are gone too. Not here either. Cat was at the table writing something down at a frantic pace with one hand against her head. Hey Cat, what's up? Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. How are you doing? That depends on what you're ominously writing. You look just like someone who realized how it's dead meat. Oh, don't worry about it. Somebody's dead meat, but it's not you. Yay? I'm just kidding. I'm just fixing out some of the balance sheets Tube was working on. Being an accountant was really never on the cards for them, despite what they say. Sit down. I'd be stuck here for a while. Sure, sounds good. I sat next to Cat at the table. So how did today's date with Allie go? What if I said all right instead of awesome? I just noticed the painting picture. I think it's a painting, not a picture. of Damien and Kat. Just noticed I was there. Awesome. I probably shouldn't tell the whole truth, but enough of it should be good. It was awesome. I don't know how, but the more time I spend with her, the better it gets. Being married to her would make every day an adventure, and I like the sound of that. I'm sure it'd be an adventure, but the jury's out if it's one you'd walk away from. But I can see she makes you happy. Really, that counts for a lot nowadays. Though you might want to start wearing body armor if you want to stay that way. Anyway, you've done great till now. I don't know if it's what you said to each at the grocery. It's true, but don't stop now. You just have to get through one more day and you'll be able to finally leave this place. You'll tell me what my old life was like? Of course. I mean, if I didn't, where would you even go? Fair point. You look like you've got something on your mind. I'm just thinking about tomorrow. You've been getting the best ratings I've ever seen. I just hope it's enough. The ratings requirement for the last date and the last day are the highest. And I'm sure I'm going to be fine, don't worry. I made it this far, nothing's going to stop me from making it to the end. I hope so for your sake. So, when I'm out of here, what are you going to do? Are you going to move on to the next killer dating show? I didn't know you were my career coach. You want to know my 5-year plan too? I get the feeling that 5 years from now, you'd rather not be here. There is no plan. I'm just taking it one day at a time. That's really all anyone can do in the crazy world. Anyway, I gotta get back to work. Good luck. You'll need it. Thanks, Kat. I'll see you later. Night. Tomorrow's gonna be the last date. I need all the rest I can get. Guess I'll call it a night. What kind of dream is this gonna be? The performance is coming to a close. The actors and actresses come out one by one, ready to take their bows. I would clap, but I'm waiting for you and only you. We're gonna end that here. We're gonna save that last day. Maybe last day for one more video. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit like, subscribe, check out other stuff I've done. I hope to see you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye.